Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Weed Cap. I'm your host, Caleb. With me, as always, to my right, I don't know why I said that, like you guys can see, my fiance, Lauren. Lauren, say hello to all the listeners at home.
Hey, y'all.
Guys, the movie this week, you guys picked it. It was supposed to be the Wednesday episode. Full disclosure, we recorded an episode last night and got into an argument during the podcast. It's unreleasable.
Yeah.
It's unreleasable. It was about, I told a story about a child I grew up with. Lauren,
who was abused.
Lauren felt like it went a little long. I was building up to how I got revenge on his father as an adult for abusing my friend Kyle. Lauren didn't like it, didn't think it was tasteful. We got into a bit of an argument. It was never heated.
We never have heated arguments.
It was never heated, but it was like, oh, we can't release this because
we don't
it
want
was
you
just
to see the real us.
It was just us going, hey, you know, you don't contribute anything to the podcast, is what I said to her, which was hurtful and not true.
Yeah.
It's hurtful and not true, although I do handle the bulk of podcast responsibilities, the social media, the audio.
Right.
I painstakingly work on the audio for this. I finally got some settings that I believe are pretty good here, but yeah, I undertake all of that. I take on the show notes. I do Lauren's talent. Lauren has.
That's what I was told when I was originally brought on this podcast. I was told, hey, this is a pre-existing podcast. All you have to do is show up and talk on it. And I was like, bet.
Sure,
that
because
sounds easy.
I did do the podcast for quite some time by myself.
Solo dolo.
Solo, but that was a bit, it just turned into me doing pornography reimaginings of movies. I need someone here to reel me in. So
that's still what we do.
Well, guys, if that's,
not in this case, though.
If that's what you like, the Wednesday, now Thursday episode this week, you guys picked it. Go N Slobmacawk is the porn parody of Bone Tomahawk, starring Kurt Russell, Richard Jenkins.
Oh, like Go On and Slobmacawk.
Gone, yeah, G-O.
I was like, what is Gone? Gone?
Well, no, because Bone Slobmacawk doesn't sound good.
No.
Doesn't sound, but go
like,
and do it.
Go and do it.
It's how we say. It's how we talk around here. So I thought it was good. G-O.
So you talk in these parts.
Here's the show note. I wrote
Bless you.
Yeah, did you just bless the cat? Goin.
Oh, it does say Gone.
Go N Slobmacawk.
Gone, but I do think it should be spelled Goen.
That would obviously be a porn parody of Bone Tomahawk is very interesting to me because
is it BDSM?
No, God no, it's not BDSM.
Well, it would be.
Well, no, it's a bunch of BWCs. Their wife has been taken by BBCs back to a cave.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, back to a cave, and these BWCs have to march through. They've got to fuck their way through the desert.
The desert. And the whores in the desert.
The whores in the desert, yes, the cave dwellers. To get, and when they get there, a massive fuck off ensues.
An orgy.
And the last man standing is the sheriff from Fargo season 2, and he gets his wife back.
Also,
never the same, but gets his wife back.
Insidious, I believe.
Insidious. I believe his name is Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
Great actor. Matthew Fox from the show Lost is in it. He plays a sort of country gentleman.
His role is referred to as a gunslinger online.
Gunslinger. He killed 116 Indians.
Not
including the ones that he kills at the end.
Yeah.
So a little revision needed there.
Yeah.
Because he kills a bunch at the end. Spoiler alert. This movie came out October 23rd. October 23rd, 2015. That was...
Oh my God, that was so soon after your 21st birthday.
Yes. Yeah, I was probably still nursing a hangover.
I don't know.
This movie. You don't know?
I don't know what you were doing that. We were only dating for a little bit then, just an FYI.
About a month there.
About
a month. September 15th to October 15th is...
No. Well, we had been talking for a little bit.
Well, yeah, sure. If that's what you want to call it. All right, guys. So in the 1980s, Purvis and Buddy. Now, Buddy is played by friend of the show. Friend of the show, avid Weed Cap listener, guys. Avid Weed Cap listener, David Arquette.
Yay, David, we love you.
David, I know you're listening, buddy. Thank you. We loved the wrestling documentary.
That specifically is one of Caleb's favorite things you've ever been in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, aside from Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble is an incredible
Which
movie.
is what the documentary kind of...
I would love to do an episode on Ready to Rumble, but the problem is Ready to Rumble is a comedy movie, and
you can't do an episode.
It's hard to do this show for comedy movies because then you're just explaining jokes.
Yeah, you guys don't need explanations.
No, it's not good,
But to explain someone getting ripped in half by a savage, that's a little different.
That's BBC porn.
Right.
Yes. So
that literally is BBC porn.
So it's the 1890s. Purvis and Buddy, they're ambushed while they're sleeping. Buddy is killed, who's just an old man. Yeah. And Purvis, who is David Arquette, escapes. Now, Purvis sounds like...
a perv.
I have an uncle Purvis.
Yeah.
I have an uncle named Merv. Merv the Perv.
Merv the Perv.
We call him Merv the Perv. He never touched anybody. He's a very nice man.
He looks
like if Sylvester Stallone had the long flu. He looks like if Sylvester Stallone in Rocky.
I think you talked about it before.
Did I talk about it on this podcast?
The pigeons.
Yeah, he raised pigeons. He also had a professionally lit VHS porn room.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes, he would show it to us.
He would show it to everybody, but not in a weird way.
But not in a weird way. He was just like...
as if
it was more
that
so...
matters.
Well, I don't think he watched it. It was the collection of it. He was a big collector.
So he just was like, I want to own these porns. I don't want to watch them.
Well, you don't have them professionally lit to just watch them. You have them professionally lit
his wife?
To showcase them. She has a doll room. He's got a
porn
VHS.
room.
And I would like to think at this point he's at least switched to DVDs. I haven't seen him in going on 10 years now.
The craziest part is what you're describing is like probably a lot of single men's house, except combined. You have a porn room, you have a doll room, and it's one of the same. And the doll is more like a life-size type of doll. Mm-hmm. That's usually named Jessica or Angelica.
Even.
Felicia.
Felicia. Now that is a great name. Felicia.
Yeah. Stick an O on the end, you got something completely different.
She stars in Go N Slobmacawk.
Oh, yeah.
Felicia.
She's the main character.
Yes, it's a blow bang film. So, Purvis, they're ambushed. Purvis escapes. He reaches a nearby town, which is Bright Hope, and he buries all of the shit that they've stolen.
He also changes his clothes.
Now, Richard Jenkins is a nosy old fuck, but he's a nosy old fuck because his wife died.
And also because he's the deputy something or whatever.
He's deputy sheriff, yeah. His name's Chicory, but he's a nosy fuck. He said he keeps describing it as he was going for a ramble.
Yeah, because he was putting flowers by his
going to put flowers by his wife's grave. And I even said to Lauren, how sad would that be? You're in the 1800s. There's nothing to do. And the only thing that I think you could do for fun back then is like go to the bar and fight and then come home and fuck. And then you lose your wife and you get old. You can't fight. You can't fuck.
What do you do?
Fart. Yeah. He just sits around eating.
Well, that's why he's the deputy sheriff. Give him something to do.
Yes. So,
but he goes back and he tells the real sheriff.
Yeah, he tells sheriff he's Kurt Russell. They confront him at the bar. Long story short, Kurt Russell pops a cap in his ass, blasts him in the leg. He falls down, hits his head. They take him to the jail, but he's obviously been shot. They need to get him medical attention. Medical attention is provided by Richard Jenkins' wife. Now, there is a sex scene. Welcome back.
Kind of just thrown in there.
Welcome back to Caleb's Coitus Corner. Now, this sex scene doesn't... It was crazy that they even shot it because it did nothing but cost the movie money, I would assume. It serves no point in the plot. You are greeted by her hind quarters. She's riding him, and she's steadily approaching climax.
She's enjoying herself.
And right as she's about to come, he goes, because he's got a broken... big plot point. He's got a broken leg.
Yeah, he fell off a roof or something.
Yeah, fell off a roof. And she's about to come. She hurts his leg, and he goes, you know what?
What does he say?
This is a direct quote from the movie.
Yeah.
We're going to do this the right way.
Yep.
And then he slides it into her butt.
No! No, he doesn't.
Yep.
He goes into full-on missionary.
Yeah. He rolls her over, and he says, "Bite the pillow. I'm going in dry." Right in the tuchus.
Keister. Oh.
In the keister, yes. You're learning in the keister. And they're interrupted. And so she goes from getting keistered to being roused out of bed.
Who knows if they've even finished?
Oh, I'd like to think he finished.
I'm sure he finished. I'm sure she didn't.
Of course not. That's how it was back then. Women just didn't finish.
Wow.
Unless it was administered.
They didn't have clitorises, remember?
They had clits back then, but only a doctor could operate it.
Or could find it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like back then an orgasm was prescribed by a doctor.
You had to take her there and she would...
Like, this bitch is acting a little loony. I think she needs one. And you'd have to take her to the doctor. And the doctor would DJ scratch her. Wiki. And then she would... they'd be like, oh, she's fine. So... She's taken. She's
Well, so no, you didn't talk about the savages.
Okay, go ahead. You talk about the savages. Talk about the savages.
Well, the reason that David Arquette's partner died was because they walked into an ancient burial ground of these, what were they called? Troglodytes?
Troglodytes. Troglodytes.
That's what the porn name is. Troglodytes. And basically they are a tribe of Indians who live in the desert and cover themselves with mud. And they are cannibals.
Yes, they all have bone inserted into their necks that they can exhale.
They don't talk. They whistle.
They whistle through a thing there.
Also, one guy has boar tusks.
He has tusks in his
face,
cheeks,
and it's real. No, I don't like that.
Yeah, and Lauren, upon seeing these men with these bones carved into their throats and their tusks, she looks at me and says, "Is this based on a true story?"
Okay.
Did you not?
I did, yeah, because I was like, this is a brutal story, and if somebody just thought this up, like, shouldn't we be concerned?
Well, here's another thing: is that
are we not concerned?
She removes the bullet from David Arquette, but then it fast forwards to morning. Patrick Wilson, who by the way had finished very hard, he is still laying in bed alone.
He's like, "Where's my wife?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where's my wife?" Come to find out, she's been taken. But a guy, the local barkeep, shows up at Kurt Russell's house, and Kurt Russell turns around in his pajamas and goes, this is what he says: "Why are you in my breakfast?"
Yeah.
Which is my favorite. Kurt Russell, incredible actor.
He's a good actor in this movie.
Fantastic actor. He's a great actor in every movie except for that fucking Escape from New York that we watched. That movie sucked.
Aw,
so
that was like one of his first roles. I mean,
yeah, but he's like a fine wine, that Kurt Russell.
Yeah, he's
The Hateful Eight,
great.
Bone Tomahawk. So he's gone to get some horses. The barkeep has gone to check on the horses, and what do they discover?
The stable boy,
Buford.
He's
been torn apart, but they didn't eat him,
yeah,
and the reason is that they don't eat dark meat.
Which, like, why did they even kill him? That's kind of fucked.
I agree. They're savages.
Oh.
They bring in a local Indian who's like, yeah, they don't eat dark meat. So R.I.P. Buford.
Which is kind of strange because in this movie, what they should have done is gathered all the dark meat people, all the dark skinned people, and sent them after to go like find them, because if they're not good, they're at less of a risk to be eaten. Still at a risk of being killed.
Yes.
But I feel like they would rather eat the people.
There's another, yeah, I mean, it's a good point. They would hold the gun sideways. So they would have you would gather up all the dark meat people. This was the
1890s.
You'd gather up all the dark meat people, and they would hold their muskets sideways, and that would disorient.
They had nice guns in this movie.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
The stable, don't worry, don't feel too bad for Buford, the stable boy. He was memorialized. They had him blessed. They're like, Buford has, Kurt Russell in the movie, very thoughtful. He goes, hey, he has no kin in this town. Bless him and put him in the ground.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? Kurt Russell, being the very nice man he is, he had Checkers name their signature sandwich after the stable boy. They named it the Big Buford. It's named after him.
After him.
It's named after Buford the stable boy, and that is the
fact check it.
The Big Buford, the boss of all burgers, is made for the fast foodie with 2 large hand-seasoned 100% beef hamburger patties, topped with 2 slices of melted American cheese, iceberg lettuce, the superior lettuce, shredded, tomato. Now, here's where I don't like what they did. Red onion, disgusting on a sandwich.
I like red onion on some sandwiches.
Nah, not a fan. Dill pickles, ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise. Not a fan of that either. Pick
Why?
2. All on a toasted bakery style, but it's not my burger. It's not for me. I wasn't torn apart by savages in a stable.
Right.
It's for Buford the stable boy.
Which is crazy because how do they even know what he liked?
Well,
they're just assuming.
They go, Kurt Russell said, bless him, put him in the ground, and give me a list of his favorite hamburger ingredients. And we're going to do something special for him. So that's the Big Buford, named after Buford the stable boy.
Rest in peace.
They make a triple Buford.
Are you on the Checkers website right now?
I am, yeah.
You're looking at Checkers?
Checkers is the shit because they have a burger they have one burger that will just change your life. Now, Checkers is shit. We've been there.
Yeah.
It's fucking shit, but they have something specifically for me, which is the Fry Lovers burger, where they put French fries on the... I'm a sucker.
He loves that.
I'm a sucker for putting a French fry on a hot sandwich. I will not put it on a cold sandwich because I am not a cave dweller.
Oh.
Yes.
Chips on a cold sandwich.
Nah, I don't even like that. When have you ever seen me do that?
Never.
I don't do that. I don't put...
You look like you're a businessman.
Thank you.
You look like you're about to go into a meeting and take a call on your Bluetooth and ignore everybody in the meeting and just talk on the Bluetooth.
Thank you. I have bits of one of our microphone stands broke while we were setting up for the show today, and I've jammed it into the sides of my beanie. So that's the Buford, the stable boy.
If you could see him, you'd be like, wow.
So basically, the biggest, honestly, the biggest fucking, the biggest obstacle to overcome, because you don't even see the savages until the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh, that's so true. It's just the trek.
It's the trek through the desert.
They live so far
while
away.
Patrick Wilson has a, horrible leg injury.
And it's the 1890s, so
He's got gangrene.
Held together with what? 2 planks?
2 planks taped to the side of him.
And some string. And he keeps pouring alcohol on it. And also... Mm-hmm. They did have opium tincture, so...
If opium... Let me tell you something. If opium tincture feels anything like THC tincture, sign
Well, David Arquette said it felt like his body was a cloud.
God. I remember... You can't take opiates anymore because everything is fake and scary, but there was a 2010 when you could get a...
Straight opiates.
Oh, my God. In 2010, when you could get a Vicodin... Because this is the thing about an opiate is a lazy Friday night drug, whereas a THC is an all the time drug. I want it in the morning. I want it all the time. I'm always craving it. No,
well, you're not always stoned though.
Oh God, no, not at work. Not barely during the week, except for at night.
Yeah.
But if make no mistake, if I have a day off and I don't have to drive, it's edible time it's Rick Simpson time for old Caleb. But something about it's a Friday night. You got nothing to do. You just want to pop it and put on some Future.
Oh.
Yeah, specifically Percocet with strippers, which is yes. I just did a dose of Percocet with a stripper. So, anyways, guys, that's Bone Tomahawk. At the end, everyone dies except for Patrick Wilson and his wife and the old man Chicory.
Who is the stepdad? No, who's the dad from Step Brothers?
I guess that makes him the stepdad.
Oh, you're right. He's
somebody's stepdad. It's Richard Jenkins. Yeah.
It's Will Ferrell's stepdad.
Will Ferrell's stepdad. I grew up with a stepdad. Yep. I always thought, I remember being like in 2010, you hear, or 2011 or whatever. And I was when Bonfire came out by Childish Gambino.
Okay.
And he's like, rap stepfather. You can hate me, but you will respect. And
you lived by that.
The like 11th grader, I was like, God, that boy's spitting bars.
Oh my God.
Turns out he sucks, but yeah.
Childish Gambino.
I've moved on to, there are so many white rappers that rap better than him.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to name any.
Name some names.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I have listened to there's a guy who's the perfect mix of rapping but comedy. I like self-aware white rappers.
That's right.
I don't like the white rappers who
try to be something they're not.
Yes, I like Cal Scrooby, I believe is his name. Cal Scrooby. He has a song. He has a couple lines about Hank Hill. I'm a sucker for King of the Hill. So
Yeah, he loves
King of the Hill is my favorite. I am sick and tired of talking about Bone Tomahawk. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's just
a really brutal movie, to be honest.
Whoa.
Hello?
Sorry there. So that fucking ad started playing. That was crazy. Yeah, it's a brutal movie. It's a lot of gore. You got to see his fucked up leg. It's not good.
Also, the one scene where the guy, before he gets ripped in half and his penis is hanging out, you were like, there's a sock on that guy's dick. Why would they put a sock on his dick?
Mm-hmm.
It's what was you were like, it's the 1890s. There wouldn't be a sock on his dick. You really were stuck on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's naked with a sock hanging off of his fucking penis.
It could have been a prosthetic penis for all we know.
No, it was a sock. I saw it. It looked like he was in the Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah. What the fuck was that?
I know what you're talking about, where they had the picture and they're all wearing the socks on their penis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
at first I didn't get what you were fucking saying.
I'm sorry, guys, if this episode wasn't up to your standards. It's a day late, $1 short. I'm not intoxicated at all. I've had nothing to drink, nothing to smoke today.
Yeah, it's a bad combo.
I have to drive later, and more than anything, I'm worried about Billy Ray Cyrus.
What's wrong with him?
I don't. So
What do you mean?
Billy Ray Cyrus is having a bit of a bad week.
Why?
So his family is worried about him after a meltdown.
Okay.
So his son wrote an Instagram thing and was like, "I love you, Dad," but clearly something's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently he had some sort of a meltdown at Trump's inauguration.
Like a crying?
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't watch it because I couldn't give a fuck, but
Damn.
I am worried about him, and that's why the show's suffering. It's got
Miley
nothing
Cyrus doesn't talk to him anymore because he's a dick.
but
That's her dad.
how could he be a dick? He's doing that.
He doesn't support her or something. I don't know. I read an article about it, and it was like he's just really rude to her about all of her music and stuff. Thinks that she should be doing other shit or whatever. She's trying to live her life.
Well, the man's an artist. He paved the way. I mean,
sure he did, but she's also a really big artist.
I mean, bigger than Billy Ray? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No way.
Hell yeah, bigger than Billy Ray. Are you kidding me?
No way Miley Cyrus is a bigger...
I bet you she's worth way more than Billy Ray.
Dude, the guy, Achy Breaky Heart.
Bro, look it up.
Also, Old Town Road.
Okay.
Old Town Road.
Okay, Old Town Road. Okay.
Okay, hold on. We're going to go Billy Ray. Go ahead, talk.
Well, I'm just saying, Miley Cyrus had fucking Hannah Montana, all of the profits and everything from that. She fucking toured as a different person for half of her life. Then she went on as a solo artist.
That's why I don't like her. She's fake.
All right, as a solo artist, and then she was in a bunch of wasn't she in that rapper's video? About J's on her feet or something?
Juicy J.
Yeah, J's on her feet.
J's on her feet, yes. She had B's in her A. Miley Cyrus net worth. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see.
Hard-hitting folks at home. Wow. So her net worth is $160 million, roughly.
Wow.
Billy Ray Cyrus, roughly $10 million.
Damn, bro.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Well, that makes a lot of sense why he'd be lashing out.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't
got an ungrateful cunt of a daughter, and she's dancing with you wrote Achy Breaky Heart, and now she's in fucking Juicy J's video.
Isn't it? Shouldn't they want their children to be better than them? Shouldn't they want
Wasn't there a picture that went around before Miley Cyrus with her pussy out pissing in a parking lot?
There's been so many
Let me
pussy
take a look
out
at
pictures.
that. Let's see how
Britney Spears had her pussy out.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Britney Spears had her pussy out.
That was from when we were little.
Oh no, let's look at that.
Getting
next.
out of a cab.
So here's Miley Cyrus's vagina.
Oh, that's nice.
It's
blurred.
Yeah, it's
That's in a leotard.
Safe
now
search.
We're getting into what my grandfather searches up on YouTube.
Oh my God, tell that story real quick. Your grandfather.
I have a 90-year-old grandfather, and he has confided. Well, first of all, fuck my cousin Jake for showing him how to use YouTube. Okay, because no 90-year-old man needs to know how to use YouTube. But now he doesn't watch cable or anything. He just goes onto YouTube and he watches a bunch of these foreign women who cook, and they always have their boobs out. And then he tells my parents the other day that he's been looking up mature women in leotards.
60-year-old women in leotards.
And the craziest thing is, 60 years old is the age of his children. My mother, my aunt, uncles. Why is he looking up 60-year-old mature women in leotards? And guess what? You look that up. Look it up. I dare you. Look it up. It's AI. It's all AI
generated old gray-haired women with giant tits.
With giant tits and like their bushes are like hanging out of their fucking leotards.
Well, he told me on Christmas Eve that he craves a woman's touch.
He craves a woman's touch.
I was drunk as fuck, and he said, I crave a woman's touch. And I said, right. Well, football's on, so we could get back to talking about that.
I wasn't there for that thing.
Nope, I had to text you.
I told everybody.
Yeah, well, he told me, and I said, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
But the difference was I'm not creepy. All right, guys, that's the Weed Cap. Probably not a great episode. If you made it this far, apologies. We'll hit you next week. The episodes are always better when I can have a drink, but I have to drive
can't
tonight.
Have a drink.
Yes, the episode when I get a little...
And we fought yesterday when we were drunk.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Lauren, say goodbye to the folks at home.
Toodaloo.
We love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.